This video is intended to be watched after the Octane Master Course Promotion video. If you haven't seen that yet, check the link below. Hello everybody, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm adding this little extension on the end here because I want to clear up a few questions that you might have after just watching the video that just played here. Now, to help keep me on track and keep me from going off on a ramble, I do have a script. It's not something I normally use. I'm the personality type that would rather just kind of memorize the topic I want to teach and then just go off the top of my head like I'm talking to you in person most of the time for my tutorials. But in this case, I have a lot of very distinct topics and I want to make sure I cover and explain things very correctly. I have a lot of detailed topics that I want to make sure I don't mess up. And I also don't want this little extension to be too long. So this will help keep me on track and keep me from going off on a ramble session, just going off forever on a bunch of different paths. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. The visuals for this video were created by John Burdock, that's me, with the help of Megascanned Assets, X-Particles, and of course, Octane Render. This video that you just saw was definitely helped heavily by different tools such as Megascanned Assets, which were scattered throughout the scene everywhere, just like all types of things, everything from little ferns to flowers to grass, you name it, four-leaf clovers. It was a very, very major part of this video. Mostly every element you see in the scene was made with Megascanned Assets, except for the trees. They were Ludwig trees. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Those I also would like to give a big shout out to as well. On top of that, I use X-Particles to do the kind of fireflies that are floating around, so big shout out to them. And of course, all this could not have been possible without Octane Render, the render engine that rendered it all. So that was massively, massively important part. On top of that, the music was composed by my brother, Joe Burdock. If you'd like to listen to more of Joe's music, check out the link in the description of this video. I cannot give any bigger thanks to my brother Joe, who actually completely composed that entire soundtrack you heard in that video from scratch. I was back and forth working with Joe. He was sending me revisions on what I kind of liked and what I didn't like in sound. And after about, I think it was 2 weeks we were working on it, or mostly him working on it, just me telling him what I liked and didn't like, he was able to come up with that beautiful piece that you heard. So big thanks to Joe. And if you're interested in hearing more of his music, check the link in the description below. Now that we have that out of the way, now you may have a few questions about the Octane Master Course, and I'm here to help answer them. That's the whole point of this here, to help answer a few questions that you may potentially have. Your first question might be, why am I extending the course by 2 years? Couldn't I make more money if I just made a new course or a paid extension to this one? Also, isn't it a little extreme to have an online course that will have a total update period of 3 years? To answer those questions, yes, it is extreme. And I could probably make more money if I went with other options. And that is true. I could make more money, I'm sure, if I just made a new course or a paid extension to this course. But there's a very distinct reason why I did not do that. And this is why. But that's not why I made the Octane Master Course, and that's never what I wanted it to become. I made the Octane Master Course because I dreamed of a place where users could access Octane content at any skill level at any time. I made the Octane Master Course to be a place that had content that was easy to scroll through and grab exactly what you wanted when you were stuck on something, like an insanely massive video manual. But at the same time, I also wanted it to be structured. Something you could watch starting from the beginning and working your way through without a problem. That was always my goal with the Octane Master Course. I wanted it also to be structured. It's also a very big video manual that at any time you can just jump to that topic you're after and get that information without searching around and fumbling through YouTube searches trying to figure out the answer. But at the same time, I know what it's like to start from the beginning and to not even know where to begin. I know what it's like to not even know what to search to even try and figure out how to answer your question. That's why I made the Octane Master Course structured, so you can start with the very first video and work your way through to the next one and the next one. Watching them in order is the best way to start if you don't know where to begin. So my real goal with it was to be able to have a place where users who didn't know anything about Octane or users that were extremely advanced and just simply wanted a manual just to be able to refresh or pick things out whenever they needed, could both use this and take advantage of it. At the same time, something that could grow with new users, that could simply watch the whole course through, and then anytime they kind of forgot something or wanted a refresher, could jump right to that section. So you can see it's really useful, and that was my entire intent for it from the beginning, was to be useful for both new and experienced users. And again though, sorry for my ramble, back to the script. I did this because I know what it's like to start in the beginning. I know how frustrating it can be when you don't know where to even begin. I also know how frustrating it is when you run into that one little problem that you can't seem to figure out and you have no clue where to search for it. I know exactly what that's like because anytime I sit down to teach or make any tutorials, I always take myself back to that place I was at 9 or 8 years ago when I was just starting out and had no clue what to even search for when a problem came up because I was that new. At the same time, I also know what it's like to be a student and to struggle in learning because I'm still learning. I never stopped. I'm constantly trying to push to over the next hill and figure out the next problem. I'm somebody who's really passionate and really enjoys to learn and basically extend my knowledge even further. So I also know what it's like to be a student because I still am one and am still learning to this day. That's part of the reason why I'm extending the Octane Master Course, is because I'm basically not done learning Octane, and I still want to share that with the rest of you guys. And that's why I made the Octane Master Course, to fulfill that dream, to fulfill a dream of a place where anybody at any skill level could come and learn about Octane Render in a structured and easy to follow way, and have something that could be like a video manual, something that you could carry with you through your entire Octane life to constantly refer and refresh back to anytime you forgot something. But again, back to the course. I'm not ready to stop updating the course, and I'm not ready to let that dream become outdated. And that's the truth. I'm not ready to let that dream become outdated, because if I were to stop updating the course, I would just be throwing that dream back. I would be saying, okay, dream, you're now outdated, and just letting it go. I'm not ready to let that dream become outdated. The place that I built for Octane, I like to call it the Octane family, in this Octane Master Course, is not something that I'm ready to let go yet. It's something that means a lot to me. It's a passion project of mine at the same time, and I really want it to continue and grow. I'm also not going to separate that dream into expansions that require users to pay more to have access to it. I want everyone to have access to everything at all times. What good is a manual if you only have part of it? And that is such a big thing when I was making the Octane Master Course. That was a big concept to me. What good is a manual if you only have part of it? I do not want to separate the course into expansions and force users into a position where they're like, okay, I'm learning this, but I would like to continue because this fixed part of my problem, but now my other problem's still unsolved, and apparently I have to pay more to buy the expansion to continue learning that. That is just not something I want to do to somebody. I don't want you to go through the course, feel like, oh, you get half your answers, but then you have to pay more to get the rest of it. I never wanted to do that. I wanted it to be a one-stop shop, single place where all users could come for information at any level at any time. I don't want to make you have to jump through hoops and around to figure out which expansion pack you have to buy to be able to have access to it. Never wanted to do that. So that's why I've never done expansions and such like that. I'm the kind of person that can forget things, and I hate reading through a wall of text, kind of like this script here. That's why I would record videos for myself so I could watch them later as a refresh. That's why I'm being honest when I say I've watched my own videos in the Octane Master Course more than a few times. I need a refresh just as much as anyone else, and I'm being completely honest when I say this, that I have gone through the Octane Master Course myself and watched those videos as a refresh, because again, I forget things just as much as the next person. And I am the type of person who, even before I was making tutorials, would make little videos just to kind of capture what and how I did something to refresh myself if I ever forgot exactly how the process went. Because let's be honest, 3D is a very big and intense topic, and it's a lot to ask your brain to keep track of all that information all the time and to always get it 100% right. That's why it's nice to have little manuals and stuff just to reach out and get a refresher on anytime you need it. And that doesn't mean rewatching the whole video or learning everything from scratch. It just simply means taking a look at a topic and being like, oh yeah, I remember it kind of works something like this, but what was the exact numbers or method that I was supposed to use? Oh, that's right, that's how that's done. Okay, just simple stuff like that. And that really is so nice. And that's part of the reason I made the Octane Master Course, is I wanted to share those videos that I was keeping for myself, and I wanted other users to be able to have access to refresh like that as well, because I found it so helpful. But again, enough on my tangent. Back to the manual. I made this course to be watched over and over again, as many times as you need. I'm repeating myself a little bit here. I didn't want to make a how-to course that simply shows you how to recreate a scene. I wanted to give you all the information. I want you to understand the very core of how something works, so you can do more than just recreate a render I did. I want you to be able to know how to make your own renders, to have the tools available to tackle the problems you might come across, so you can build your own dreams. This was a very important thing for me when I made the Octane Master Course. Don't get me wrong, I like how-to project videos. Like, for example, saying, okay, let's recreate this bamboo in 3D or something, and let's talk about how to build this exactly like I did and copy me for that. There's nothing wrong with those videos. I really like watching them, and I watch them quite a bit myself, and I've made videos like that myself. And in fact, the end of the Octane Master Course has a bunch of project how-to videos that really help cement in what you've learned by using all that information in a real-world project. But I did not want the whole course to be focused on that, because I want to do more than just show you how to copy and do what I did. I want you to understand the tools and concepts and everything that makes what that is possible. I want you to understand the entire building blocks and how all that comes together in itself, so you can do more than simply copy what I did, but make your own object. I want you to be able to create your own dreams, not copy mine. And that's why it was so important to me to make sure that the Octane Master Course was made on a more per topic basis, on actually understanding the core fundamentals of Octane and then building onto that as you go through it. It was very important to me that it was structured in that way. But again, enough of my ramble, back to my script. I'm the kind of person that when I figure something out I've been stuck on, the first thing I want to do is share that information with everyone I can, so they never have to go through that frustrating experience like I did. And that is also very true. I hate getting stuck on something and I'm just like, cannot get through it. It's like a wall you hit and you can't push through it, and you just constantly are hitting it over and over and you can't find out the solution. I hate when that happens, and I'm constantly on the internet trying to search and figure out how to fix this, how to make it work. I hate when that happens, and the biggest thing that I feel when I figure something out is I want to share that with other people. I want to be like, I want to make a tutorial on this to show people how this is done and how to do it, so they don't have to go through all the frustration that I did trying to figure all that out. So that's always been a big drive to me, is to kind of share what I've learned. A great analogy I came up with is I like to basically consider it like I'm a road paver. I like to go through areas that haven't been paved yet. I like to explore the unknown, the jungle, to go through these rough and rocky terrains and smooth everything out, clear it out, figure out how it works, make a nice open path for everybody to also hop on and ride with me. The sun's coming out, so I hope my exposure doesn't get too crazy. But again, I want to be able to create a road that people can ride on with me. I want to be able to pave a new path and let other people ride on it with me to also enjoy the benefits of what I figured out. That's always been kind of like my main passion and goal. But back to the script. My desire to share and help others overcome obstacles that I've faced is what drove me to make the Octane Master Course. And yeah, that is what drove me to make the Octane Master Course. That desire to want to share content, how I did something to help people get through those difficult areas when you're stuck and frustrated on something. That's what drove me to make the Octane Master Course. Again, that was the whole dream, to make a road and a path. That's what the Octane Master Course is. It's a roadway that I paved to let other people ride on it, so their journey through Octane can be as smooth as possible. I don't want them to have a rocky, bumpy path through it. I want it to be very smooth and easy and structured. That's always been my goal. And that same desire is what pushes me to update this course until August 15th, 2021. And that is exactly what pushes me to update this course. I still want to make more content for people. I still want to help pave that road even further. I'm not ready to let that dream become outdated and fall to the past. I still want the Octane Master Course to keep pushing forward into the year 2000 and into the year 2021. I want to keep this going even further. So that's why, again, I'm updating and extending the time for the course, because again, the course was never something that was supposed to be you go through once, you complete, and then you don't go through it anymore. It's not like a how-to video that you watch. Okay, now I know how he did that bamboo scene. Now I don't need to watch it again. Like, it was always something to come back to. It was never something that you complete and say, okay, I don't need that anymore. Like, it was always like a handy manual that could follow you along and go wherever you basically have internet connection, to just simply pull up the web page and use it and stream the videos to whatever you want, your phone, your tablet, or your computer, and simply get that refresh anytime you need it. And for me, Octane is always updating. It's got so many cool new features coming out and planned, and I want to be able to add that to the course so that Octane can travel with you even into Octane 2021, hopefully. So basically, that's my ramble. I don't really have that much more to say. I have one little line left on my script that's kind of to finish all this up. So if you're tired of searching all over for answers, join the Octane Master Course family today. And that basically really sums it up. If you're tired of struggling to find answers and searching all over YouTube, and you're tired of every time that you try to recreate fog in Octane, or trying to save out an image with an alpha channel, or trying to reuse the multipass system, or enable the beauty pass, or volume denoise, your turbulence FD render or something, and you're like, how exactly do I do that? If you're tired of having to jump back on YouTube and search all over to try and find that tutorial somewhere, if you haven't bookmarked it or something, join the Octane Master Course today, because that just gives you such a structured guide directly to it. This is easy to scroll through, named, organized into different sections based off of difficulty levels, and structured in a way that if you're a new user, you can just jump right through. Again, I'm repeating myself, but again, it is a passion project, so I'm really excited to talk about it. Thank you so much for watching this video that has been extended this long all the way to the end. I hope you're just as excited as I am that the Octane Master Course is being extended like this, and I cannot wait to see more users join in and see their experience, and I can't wait to launch this video and see what everybody thinks. So again, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all in the next video.